Feature and get started now. Visit GoBarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
It's really exciting. It's kind of like a redemption. I feel I'm really ready. I'm excited to get to experience the state, just whole experience, and I didn't really get that with wrestling. I don't really know. I've never really attended a state track meet, so I'm a little nervous.
I would say our individual events, Joe's 50 and 100 and Clarice's breaststroke, and our 400 will probably be pretty close.
Pretty amazing to go for my fourth year in a row here. It's not the pool that I would like. I'd rather be swimming in Kansas City, but Topeka is a good pool, and I'm just excited to be there with everyone and swim my last.
Davis sets. Inside out swing. Left field. Base hit. Here comes Bart. Ball game.
That's a really good Oklahoma State team. I'm incredibly proud of the way that our guys competed and continue to just believe in a special night.
You know, obviously the walks are definitely something that are not in my DNA. I'd much rather give up hits all day than give up 5 walks. So that was a little bit of a shock of like, man, I need to attack the zone, better hitters, and not, swinging as much.
Caglione rips to right and deep to Sanchez, who turns around, it's gone. There's home run number 1 for prospect number 1 of the Kansas City Royals, Jack Caglione.
The Thunder survived 7 games against Denver and 2 impressive second halves to open up the Western Conference Finals. They beat Minnesota 118-103. Good job on the forecheck here by a defenseman, Forsling, allowing Florida to keep the puck in. Score! Forsling! Just a minute, 17 seconds in.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome into the Friday Schools Out program. I don't know what's going to happen today, but, man, I've never seen a bigger collection of old guys around this studio in my entire life. Could you speak up? Couldn't hear you.
There's like 7 people in here, and I'm still have more hair than you. Just saying.
Well, I know one guest that's older than me, so I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay. Brent, I'm glad you're sports director at this place, so you were just standing over the side, we had a full studio. I was ready to let other people take the mics. Okay, well, we're going on the fly here today. Okay.
Auburn University. Was you there when LeVan Sands was there?
No, sir.
Okay.
I was not.
Okay. Well, LeVan's from there. He got a bronze medal in the Olympic triple jumps. He went to school at Barton from the Bahamas. He went from Barton to Auburn to finish his career.
Okay. You can't talk before I introduce you, okay? So you've already taken the show off. Okay, on the show today, our guest host, Mike Marzon, he comes on at the end of the year. Laz Lashley had to go to Wichita to get crawfish today. Mm-hmm. He'll be back in Monday. Mike's going to be coaching state golf. So, anyway, that's down the road. Okay, also in is our semi-regular guest host, Garrett Fitzpatrick.
Good morning, afternoon.
Okay, all right. And our sports director, Brant Daughtry, is in here.
Holding on for dear life.
Also in studio today, he just showed up out of the, is the voice of Larned Indians. Gary Wagner's in here today.
Hi, Webby.
Coming up in the second segment, we will solve what is actually going on over there in Larned, because these rainfall reports, there's been several accusations of cheating on these things going on.
There's much malfeasance.
Yeah, there is. So we'll get to that on the show. Are we missing somebody? Oh, yeah, Ron Mason. I'm getting called in. We're having a big golf tournament over there, so Mason's going to be on. Okay. And I'm so excited. We may go long today. Remember I kept telling you about, we've got to go through McCracken. Because, how many road trips have we gone when we pulled off on some road and looked for the football field in town?
And how many roads have we gone when we pulled off like a football field and the cops have chased us out of town?
Well, that was a chase. That's another story.
That's what we do, man.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
So, and I always wondered, God, McCracken, when I was in high school, man, they were good.
Huh?
They were good. So I'm going to talk about that with Chuck Higgins and he's in studio, and Mike Hescher's around here somewhere.
Yeah, I did. So,
Is he icing his feet right now? Is that...
what?
Okay, so there you go. So this is going to be so much fun. All right. All right, let's get to the sounds of the past 24 hours or so. Oh, we have sports headlines as well. Brant, you're sitting there with your arms crossed in such a judgmental posture.
No, this is just how I stand.
I think he's right to be scared right now.
Well, he's just saying, okay, I've been in the state for like 9 days now, and look at these guys that rolled in here.
It's community. It's community radio.
Okay. Do they look like their
Those countries, what his future is going to look like.
those country folk down there in Georgia?
The rednecks from where I'm from? Yeah, absolutely. Very similar.
Okay, very good.
They would not use the word malfeasing. I didn't know what that means.
I was going to say, we need to clarify that first of all.
He's already got a lot of looks on it. What? What did you say? All right, that sounds the past 24 hours or so. Micah Elligood. So this was pretty cool. She was already in the state wrestling tournament, but got to the regional finals and broke her collarbone. So she didn't get to go to the state in wrestling. So then she took a lot of the track season getting healthy, right? Well, yesterday she wasn't even ranked in 5A high jump. Went 5-2. She's going to state, finished second at the 5A regional here in Great Bend. So Mike Corson, covering it for Catch It Kansas, sent me a nice little audio clip. That was pretty good. Congratulations. Let's see other qualifiers for the Great Bend Panthers. The girls got their 4x4 in. The 4x8 is going. Kaylee Baldwin goes 10-6 in the pole vault. She is going. Reese Bullard finished third in the girls 800. Michaela Minton didn't qualify in the 100-meter hurdles. Is she following the athletic lines of Carrie? Okay. Well, I don't know. I've seen those track records on the board at Kingman High School, and so I think there's a combination of Carrie and Mike Minton in that. But congratulations to Michaela going to the state track meet as a freshman. Allie Gerhardt gets third in the shot put. Her proud mom was around here this morning. Little Shannon Towns.
Okay.
Yeah. She was 35-11.
Just a quick note, that 10-foot, 6-foot level was higher than I went in high school.
So how does everything come back to Wakanda East High School around here?
Well, it's no longer
Any longer than 10-6?
Not 10 foot was high as I went. I did that like a once.
Yeah, that's not bad, though. You guys, underfunded school. You had a cane pole.
It was
bamboo. Yeah, okay, all right. Cooper Omot is going in every event.
So I saw that trick because I was working yesterday. I was doing the girls.
48-3.
48. Going by like 6 feet. It's stupid.
I think he's peaked as a sophomore. Went 22-10 and a quarter in the long jump, won that. Finished second in the javelin, and he extended that at 182 yesterday. Taven Stroop wins the 1600, so he'll go, and he will also go in the 800. He finished third. Karis Lou finished fourth by like a tenth of. When it gets past those numbers, like 10 point. So is that tenths and then hundredths, or how's that work?
Yes.
Wags, you're a starter in track. This is so you know this good. So she finished like 0.25.
Kiowa County.
But I know why it is, because you like to start with a shotgun, and they don't. Okay, so
the only reason I'm in town is because I need cannonballs for my yard. Because I'm out.
Don't ever
drive this weekend,
Don't ever drive down that long driveway at Wags' house west of Larned, okay?
There's no way out. One road in, one road out.
I never knew that about you. I knew that you were really talented, and I found out you were a starter.
With that van that I seen you guys drive in, nothing's impossible.
the mystery machine.
They followed me down my driveway one Friday night, scared the Jesus out of me.
And it was actually pretty early, too, so that was what was amazing. Okay. Jade Winter talking about who maybe has a chance at swimming on the second day for Great Bend Swim State 5 through 1A swim meet begins tonight or this afternoon. They've got the diving, but that was last night. We don't have any divers, even though I asked earlier this week, well, can't we just enter some? And say, well, there's 6 different dives. Okay, well, I could come. The cannonball, the belly buster, the back slap. That's when you just jump off the board and land on your back, right?
Yeah.
But I need 3 more. Well, Great Bend doesn't have any swimmers. They do have 6 going, though. Seniors, Clarice Snap, Joe Mazook, Darcy Feist, junior Brayley Carper, sophomore Meredith Mazook, and freshman Emma Snap. And you heard senior Joe Mazook. She's been to the state. This will be her 4th year going to the state, hoping to make her 4th year the best one yet. Kansas baseball. How about that? ESPN2 yesterday. Mike Kazuski, or something like that. I singled to shallow left. They called it a single. It was a bloop shot off the end of the bat, but it dropped in, and with 1 out, bases loaded, KU wins. They come from behind to beat Oklahoma State 7-6. They were down 6-2 in the 7th. Scored 4 runs, 3-run homer from Brady Bollinger to tie the game. 2 innings later, knotted at 6. He got the game-winning hit. So KU will play TCU tonight. Friday night watching KU baseball.
What's that?
I don't remember that happening since they made the World Series.
Yeah, that's true.
So they play, West Virginia, who KU swept in the final series of the regular season. They won the regular season title. They're taking on Arizona tonight. Okay, the Royals open a series in Minnesota tonight. I didn't know Dighton picked this guy up. Noah Cameron?
No. He did?
Yeah, he did. He's already gone. 2 starts so far. He's 1-0. 12 2/3 innings. He's allowed only 3 hits with an ERA of 0.71. So he is pitching in place of Seth Lugo's on the disabled list. And he'll start tonight. Talking about he had that no-hitter run into the 6th inning at Tampa Bay. I guess the only down thing, he walked 5 guys. Gave up 1 hit. That was pretty good. But then against the Cardinals last Saturday, a game they lost in a close game, he didn't walk anybody. So we'll see what he does against the Minnesota Twins. We'll have the game for you tonight starting at 6:30 on KVGB. And because he is the sports director here at Eagle Media, remember that, everyone, we have breaking Royals news today. Although, kind of lead in, and then I'll jump in with who I think it is, okay?
All righty. So, Hunter Renfroe of the Royals has been designated for assignment. Teams let him go.
And the Royals are calling up Jack Caglione.
Nope. Any other guesses?
Ryan Braun.
Ryan Braun's still playing?
Yeah, I like Ryan Braun.
Well, why wouldn't he be as many?
Leo Washington? No, they're calling up Nick Lofton.
Okay.
They've sent him up and down a couple of times, I think, but he's been playing well in the minors this year, apparently.
Well, not as good as Caglione. I mean, he made his debut. You heard the home run. That was one he hit last night. His first AAA home run, 410-foot shot. And so, yeah, he's been up. Let's see, his first day, I picked up his first AAA hit, his first AAA multi-hit game on day 2, and then last night he got his first AAA home run.
But he's only But you say he's been in AAA for 3 days? You're not going to bring a guy up after 3 days in AAA. Typically.
Because it's never been done before.
Oh, it's been done. It's not typical.
He's how old?
He's got 38 games under his belt. I think that's enough to know. I mean, is he going to go up there? Can he wave at air any worse than what the lower part of the Kansas City Order's done this year?
Where are you going to play him at?
I mean, outfield. You got rid of Renfroe.
You think? I'm not a Royals fan, but I agree. I think he needs gets more studied at bats. Unless they're going to bring him up and let him play totally. I mean, say, okay, it's your job.
Oh, if you bring him up, you have to bring him every day.
Yeah.
If he starts 0 for 16, you send him back.
Yeah.
You do see guys skip AAA sometimes, but usually if they go to AAA, they stay there for a little bit.
I told you that Iuka Hustlers have Drake Baldwin on the team. He should be a AAA, but then they kept him. They wouldn't send him down, so he played every 4 days. I dropped him once, and then I thought, well, Marzow's going to try to pick him up. So I went out and picked him up again. I sent him to AAA Preston before I called him up to Iuka. And Baldwin's been raking, except he went 0 for 5 last night. Why don't you leave him down? Well, he might. You
need 2 catchers. You need 2 catchers on the roster.
Not if they don't play. So now I have 3 catchers on the roster.
Put Salvi back there for the rest of the game and call somebody up.
Salvi's hips hurt.
Well, if he had to play 3, 5 innings or 4 innings, he'd be all right.
He's been around me since February with my bad hip. You think I could squat down right now?
I'd be real impressed if you. I'd be real impressed if you could catch a 9-inning ball game right now.
Why wouldn't you?
Oh, 9, yeah. You said somebody got hurt.
What are they waiting for? Bring Caglione up, Garrett. Oh, sorry, I was giving you that furrowed eyebrow look at you. So now let me take back over here to.
I'm excited for him when he comes up. I just think he needs to stay down and get a few more bats at AAA for a while.
He's hot right now.
Yeah. Well, let's cool him off. Bring him up to the Royals. Cool him off.
Well, then send him back down.
Then he goes his ego. We gotta baby these kids these days.
How old is this kid? Caglione?
23, maybe 2.
Yeah.
He's not
18.
23 or 24.
Yeah, he's playing enough.
I call him kid. I'm 2 years older.
Well,
than
he played, but he played a lot of college baseball already, so
Well,
he played rivals.
It's not like a high
I'm
school
excited
kid.
for him to
that
come
got-
up when he does. I just think he needs a few more bats down there.
Suck it up.
I don't know where we are in the South. Okay, we're at Caglione. Okay. Oh, and this, I tried to get a hold of Marzoff last night, but I knew when he didn't answer the phone, he was watching the NBA playoffs.
Exactly.
The call on ESPN Radio and right here on KVGB, because we do provide things for everyone else that maybe I don't particularly like, which is the NBA. But Shea Alexander scoring 38 points after being named the NBA's MVP, and the Oklahoma City Thunder overwhelming the Minnesota Timberwolves again, winning 118-103 to take a 2-0 lead in the Western Conference Finals. We will have Game 3 here on KVGB. Tomorrow night at 7.
Oh, thanks.
Tonight, the Eastern Conference Finals, the Knicks hosting the Pacers. Pacers leading the Knicks 1-0. And the real sport.
I just learned the 4 teams in the NBA playoffs. I did not know who was left.
Listen to how busy this guy is.
Good job on a forecheck here by a defenseman, Forsling, allowing Florida to keep the puck in. Score! Forsling! Just a minute, 17 seconds in.
Gustav Forsling. 1:17 into the game, the Panthers beat Carolina in that hockey hotbed of Raleigh, North Carolina, 5-0. They take a 2-0 series lead in the NHL Eastern Conference Finals. Tonight, Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals, the Stars lead Edmonton 1-0. Dallas won Game 1 6-3. On Wednesday night, scoring a franchise playoff record 5 goals in the third period.
Does we still have a minor league hockey team?
I believe so.
We've got to get you to do a hockey game on the radio.
I was waiting for Fort Hays State to add me. I never would have left.
I'd love to hear you do a hockey game.
Oh, gosh, that would be... You get to call a game winner like every night.
TP Fieldhouse, we could put some water in there. Perfect. It's already got the balls up.
That'd be a short ice.
Well, yeah, but come on, here, Hayes, kids.
Is that like the Hoosiers gym where you got half court on each side? Something like that?
It does have an ice. Well, so's Fort Hays. I mean, that would be...
Yeah, you got a new AD there. Now, who knows?
She's from the East.
Yeah, she's probably a pup.
Well, they've got a lot of hockey up in Pennsylvania.
She might be.
I think Gannon University probably had some of that.
Are you breaking news? Fort Hays going to start hockey?
Maybe I'll have a chance to become the voice of Fort Hays hockey.
Gurr's not going to like that.
Grr. Okay, there you go. Sounds the past 24 hours or so. All right, it is the Friday edition of Sports Day. I don't know when it's going to end. It may go on a long time. We got a lot of things to talk about. McCracken Mustangs. Are you kidding me?
Exciting.
You
I'm
know,
interested.
and because I know that I shouldn't just tell my stories on here all the time, but Chuck's going to know what I'm talking about. So when I was up in Hayes, we had to go on before I went out and got in the hailstorm and the tornado that totaled the truck out. We would chase storms. So I was going south. I kept going south, and so I got to McCracken, and then I got to McCracken, and the kind of road goes, and then it goes south. It's a dirt road, and you can see Bazine. You're up on the high ground. And I'm looking down, and then there's a tornado coming for Bazine, and it was, you could see the sun in the southwest, okay? I'm coming down, I'm headed south. And you could see this giant tornado headed right for Bazine. So what did I do? I went down, kept going, got on K4. And then I didn't know where it was at because I started to go further south, and the road down by the Bazine, the dirt down there is like clay, and it's really muddy, and I got stuck, and then I couldn't get out. I didn't know where the tornado was. But anyway, that's another story. But
Alexander was down in there, too.
Yeah.
And rush down there if you head a little bit the other way.
So we're going to talk McCracken Mustangs and all kinds of stuff. So
You live to tell about it, though, Webby.
Yep, Chuck, you may be here till we head to McCracken to sit on the 40-yard line tonight. More Sports Day coming up after this.
Cheers, this is happening.
Hadley, what's going on? I've been trying to call you for the past half hour.
Well, Papa, ever since you started this big sale, the phones have been like crazy.
That's a good thing, Hadley. And didn't I ask you to name the sale?
I did. It's a sale. It's so good you won't believe it.
Oh, Hadley, it is so good you won't believe it.
C&E Doors is offering steel on both sides 9x7 white doors for the same price as vinyl backliner doors. Call today.
Ready for a fresh start this spring? Equity Bank is here to help you bloom into better banking with a $300 bonus. Receive $300 when you open a new Equity Bank checking account and use code FRESH, either in person or online. It's the perfect way to reset your routine and refresh your finances. Visit equitybank.com/fresh for full details and start your season strong. At Equity Bank, they never forget it's your money. Member FDIC.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmy's make it happen.
As a farmer, I have thousands of more mouths to feed than the average person. What fuels me to get the job done? The smell of the soil and the hum of the combine. What fuels my equipment? Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster, a premium diesel fuel for the most challenging conditions. Better than any formula yet, delivering maximum uptime every time. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster, fueled by innovation, powered to perform.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
All right, welcome back to Sports Day. Our show brought to you. Do I want to read these? Or they're
getting their money's worth today. They probably charge them double.
Okay. American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department featuring number 2 clear diesel, bulk fuel, E10, fuel delivery, all your lubricants and fuel supplies. Equity Bank here when you need a shop local, or save big with in-person banking local with business banking. Go to equitybank.com. You got that, Wags, didn't you? C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison in Great Bend. Okay, we're going to run down some sports headlines here first, but I think we need to get the air cleared. We have a lot of devoted area rainfall reporters that are on this program.
Use small words, man.
Yeah, please.
Now, and Garrett Fitzpatrick just came out. He said, "Yeah, I'm going to send my rainfall reports in." I said, "Yeah, that'd be good." Wags was kind of like, every once in a while he'd send it in. But what you did, Garrett, Wags is like 100% attendance here lately, okay?
Okay.
But then we started to notice a trend. When Larned would get rain, North Larned would get 7,800s. And I would announce it over the air, and then here would come Wags' report from just west of Larned, and it was like 7,900.
He did make a good point. He's on the...
Garrett would get 84. Wags got 85. So is it just a few more drops, or does it, because you're on the hilltop, in the higher area of Larned, maybe it doesn't have as much time to come down? I don't know.
I'm lower elevation,
Yeah.
so it evaporates a little more before it gets to me.
He has a creek there that's probably a little more moisture.
Okay, but if it's evaporating,
When he first started reporting, he would be the one who would be a fraction over.
Yeah.
And
So
then
to
I went and he was out of town one day, and I went and read his for you.
That's devoted.
And I found that his is stuck in the middle of the backyard with no fence, no gate. So all the neighborhood strays would come over and add to his total because he fed them.
No, I'd left water out for him, generate more fluid.
Yes. And that's why, so I had to up the game. Now, I've had to turn the reading of the gauge over to Mrs. Wagner because she says I read it wrong. And I asked her to explain that, and she said something about the apex of the water in the tube. And when she said apex, that's when I felt like Mars off. I had no idea what she was talking about.
The apex of the tube.
Isn't that a cleaner?
Bottom of the bubble.
Yeah, yeah. So I was kind of reading the top end of the apex, according to Mrs. Wagner, when I should be looking at the bottom of the apex.
I think the top of the apex is where the water is pushed up from that June bug that you throw down in there. To force the water up higher.
I sent you a picture the other day of my legitimate gauge report.
So you have to take actual pictures.
Pretty fancy.
Oh yeah, yeah. You like those zip ties too, didn't you?
That kind of took me aback a little bit.
Yeah, and they're not the same color. I got one red one, one black one.
See, I live in the middle of town. He lives out on the country, you know. He's got fence posts. He's at all kinds of good places.
Okay, now this is just something that I've thought about, because if Larned was ever attacked,
you ought to see our Friday nights.
The best way to attack Larned is not coming in from the, on 56. Because one, you've got that wall over there. That's going to stop some people.
Yeah.
And plus, you and Resetter on that side of town. And I mean, that's like the...
Yeah, just bring it. Bring it. Like I said, I'm over here to buy cannonballs because I'm out.
I mean, I don't have any.
Oh, he's stingy. He won't give up. He's the first line of defense. I need him.
I would never walk through there. It'd be like, there's booby traps and all kinds of stuff out there.
Yeah.
Oh, at the state prison, they show them the video stuff, and they're scared to escape.
Tread like that.
Buddy, be ready. He's going to get new cannonballs.
That's why they go the other direction.
Don't head south across that creek. That Resette's over there. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, Wags.
Well, I just wanted to, I was going to crash the party next Friday, but I can't, and I know that's your last show. That's why I asked you yesterday when your last Sports Day show was.
But see, it's the Sports Day will live on. I don't know in what form or
but not with you.
Right.
Not with the Hall of Famer yet.
I mean, I don't really know.
We're taking notes now, so okay, we won't do that.
I don't really remember getting the email, for the to be included on the interview process. I don't know how this dude was vetted, if at all.
Hey, me either.
So the jury is still out. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, he graduated from Auburn. He wasn't homeschooled, so that's where we're at.
I've been listening. I've been picking up the bits and pieces.
Wag, we're Husker fans. We didn't stand a chance.
I know. I wore my John Cook shirt just for you.
And somehow there's an E on there.
Well, of course. It's just a little bitty one.
What? Okay. Do we want to go over any sports headlines or anything, or is this we want to move?
Yes. I'll leave so you can maybe do something.
5A golf tournament coming up. State.
Tell me about it, Garrett.
I will. You're looking for headlines. I've got them. All right. The Great Bend Panthers boys golf team finished second at districts, qualified for state, so they're going to be going to Emporia. 27th to 28th. We got Eli Summers, Ethan Summers, Trent Rowe, Carl Schartz, Alec Premer, and Nash Lindenberger are the players competing for the Great Bend Fighting Panthers. Going to go golf in Emporia. Yes, they did qualify team, played second in this district.
I think Nash took 10th individually.
Yeah, I'm not positive.
Yeah, he was our best scorer.
Yeah, good.
19th.
Awesome.
Good. Nash came over and he spoke at the athletic banquet in Larned the other day, a couple weeks ago, whatever. Marvelous job. Quite a young man.
Nice kid.
Oh, man.
He was on Sports Day. That was when Kyle Cree brought, and I can't remember the other, basically manager for the basketball team. And, of course, he would be playing with them. But he's gone through a lot. It's very inspirational.
It is.
It was really good.
Hats off to that young man, I tell you what. And good luck to the Panthers. Go low.
Okay, here's a radio tip for you, okay? When you're using a mic like that, don't hit your hand on the...
Let me business, let me...
All right, why don't we take a break? It's into school's coming up, so I don't know what's next. I really don't.
Who cares?
Okay, it's coming up next on KVGB.
From the Mail Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Pleasanton.
Your summer, your schedule. Earn college credit and tackle your gen eds with Barton Online anytime, anywhere. With 5 flexible summer sessions, you can stay on track and reach your goals on your schedule and budget. At just $160 per credit hour, Barton Online is an affordable way to stay ahead, catch up, or explore something new. Enrollment is open now. Secure your spot today at online.bartonccc.edu.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
This is
Hadley, what's going on? I've been trying to call you for the past half hour.
Well, Papa, ever since you started this big sale, the phones have been like crazy.
That's a good thing, Hadley. And didn't I ask you to name the sale?
I did. It's a sale. It's so good you won't believe it.
Oh, Hadley, it is so good you won't believe it.
C&E Doors is offering steel on both sides 9x7 white doors for the same price as vinyl backliner doors. Call today.
Sports. Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Sports Day today brought to you by Eller Automotive Repair. They specialize in wheel alignments, oil changes, general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. And the Great Bend Rec Commission, dedicated to improving our community and the lives of its individuals. I checked. They still haven't posted brackets yet, although St. Thomas Aquinas did win their regional yesterday, so they will be the number 1 seed in 5A West. I'm assuming Great Bend will be number 2. So, okay, Bob Salter comes in like once a month. It's another Pages in Time show we did. And we just finally tried to, we just called it two old geezers gabbing. I think today it's just a whole bunch of old geezers gabbing. Good stuff here today. Okay, Mike Marzoff, Jock Vaughn coming back to KU. Is he going to be the new head coach when Bill Self steps down? Because he's got to be the
Yeah, right now he'd be on the staff anyway. He'd be the leading candidate. Yes. I don't know.
Okay, now
I wish he'd shave the beard. That bothers me.
Yeah, that looks different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, I was telling Brant this. Except you figured the story out, okay? Am I really 100% bought in on Jock Vaughn? You know I'm mad at him for one thing.
Yeah, I do.
What is it?
Passing up the shot
against Arizona.
Yep.
But he knew that Rafe LaFrench had a better chance at taking a contested 3 falling out of bounds over on the sideline. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, anyway, he's taking place in Norm Roberts. North Florida coach Matthew Driscoll resigned after 16 seasons with the Ospreys, accepted an associate head coaching job on Jerome Tang's staff at Kansas State. Background, anybody? Okay, we'll move on to the next topic. What do you think about the tush push living on? Come on, Wags, you got an opinion on this. Everybody,
I'm all right with it.
Why?
If you can't stop it, are we doing it just because nobody can stop it?
Yeah.
Well, nobody could stop the option back in the 80s, and Oklahoma still ran the wishbone, and Nebraska ran the option, and then what happened? People figured out how to stop it.
Well, I'd like to be a season ticket holder to a major college football team when it was college football, but I don't want to go watch rugby guys play.
I'm with Wags. Stop it. I mean, I'm disappointed on some of the teams that voted to get rid of it. Buffalo, the Steelers, Green Bay. I mean, you're talking, I think, Chicago Bears. You're talking about the teams that are...
You don't care about safety at all, do you?
No.
I mean,
that wasn't the whole thing about me either.
If you're mad that you can't stop it, then get good at it yourself.
But what kind of play is it?
Recruit that 480-pound guy.
The reason it came in was because it was happening anyway, and they weren't calling
how can you push somebody in the back? That's a penalty.
It's a penalty. In high school football, we throw that flag.
But John does it. We got to throw it.
Yeah, you're right.
It was basically happening without getting called.
Well, why wasn't getting it called and get on the...
Well, you're an official. Maybe I don't know.
Didn't they used to have the rule in pro that you couldn't push, right?
But they took it away because they said it was too difficult to...
Well, that's what I mean. It was happening, and they weren't calling it, and they were saying, well, we didn't know if he was really pushing him or not, so...
Okay, so let me take a look at this picture. Okay, the quarterback is coming in there, and then there's 2 running backs that are coming in and crashing into his back and shoving him forward, thus shoving the lineman forward. They couldn't tell?
They just missed their blocks.
When Dax get hurt or one of these big quarterbacks get hurt somehow on that play, it'll get eliminated.
Well, yeah, would you want to be that guy? I wouldn't.
I'd like to be that center.
Well, he's just... His head's down. I mean, it's just... I mean, you can see the same thing on nature movies. There's 2 moose out there going at it, right? Lower leverage wins.
My mom never let me watch those shows.
Ratings just went kaboom on this show, Webby.
Tonight on Master and Greed Geography.
Our new sports director's got to get his own sponsor next year.
What's the tush push? Now, do you want to watch 2 Rams go at it?
Well, I saw
Is
that
there anything
episode.
artistic with that? You probably like the shift in baseball where there's 9 guys and, well, hit the ball the other way. Okay, that's what I want to see Bryce Harper trying to bunt, up the third baseline.
Well, now, see, when you start talking baseball, you guys all sound like Charlie Brown's teacher to me. Wah, 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 this guy, wah, 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 wah.
Are you talking about the Colorado Rockies?
Worst start in what? Major League Baseball history?
They fell to 8-42. We're starting 50 games in Major League history since 1901. Before that, you have to go back to you probably don't even remember this team. In 1895, the Louisville Colonials were 7-43 to find the worst record in the start of baseball.
I think my coaching record would be That's not very good.
Rockies are 5-20 at home and on pace to lose 136 games.
Well,
man.
Which would surpass the 1899 Cleveland Spiders that finished 20 and 134.
Okay, you're a math guy down there.
No.
So, what if they got hot? I mean, what kind of record would they have to win like 86 games?
Oh.
They can turn it around.
Well, they would have to go 92 and 18 to finish 100 wins. I'm close on that. 42 losses, 8.
What a story that would be, though. What a story that would be. Down and out, they went 92 and 18 to close the season. I'm speechless. I don't know. Thanks for throwing that in, Gary.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So I will not pick up Ryan McMahon. I was thinking about it, but 8-42.
Hunter Goodman, man. He's.
Were you nervous on Sunday when the Storm was headed to Iuka, or were the Hustlers out of town?
You're home against me, so you were on the road last week, right?
Yeah, I was on the road. Yeah.
The team was out of town.
3 straight weeks on the road. I was at Palco. Hustlers were taking on the Palco Punishers last weekend, and then we moved down a little bit, so this weekend we're at Paradise taking on the Paradise Punch-Outs. And then,
that's a family rivalry.
Then we wrap up the 3-week road trip. We'll be in Ransom against the Ramblers next week.
Well, you have been on the road.
Yeah. It's always good. It's going to work out. We're not at home a lot, but that way we're not playing home games during harvest because it always hurts attendance and stuff. So
you be at home a lot.
It's well thought out.
Second time through the series.
Look at that. Hot off the press. Mike Hesher is here as well.
And there you go.
Look at that first round matchup.
No, it's not. It's not what you think it is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you were looking at food. Yeah, okay. No, it's not. Okay. Hot off the press. Great Bend will play next Thursday, 3:30 at X Stadium in Wichita. They will take on KC Piper, 17-10. The winner of that game will play in the semifinals the next day against either Blue Valley Southwest. How can you keep track of those schools? I mean, how do you do Blue Valley Southwest, Northwest, North? It's Blue Valley Southwest taking on Goddard Eisenhower. The top bracket, St. Thomas Aquinas, number 1 seed. What did they win, Hesh? 2-0 in that game?
Yes, 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0 when they played in Gardner Edgerton in that tournament in April. So Aquinas gets Valley Center at 11. Then the 1:15 game will be Shawnee Heights taking on the Hayes High Indians at 1:15. Great Bend plays at 3:30. Then Blue Valley Southwest and Goddard Eisenhower go at 5:45.
Gardner Eisenhower coach is Coach Warren, I believe.
Yes.
Neil Barton.
Yep.
That's kind of cool. All kinds of cool things.
Yes. Yeah.
How about Great Bend and Hayes High for a state championship?
I'm surprised Hayes High made it, to be honest.
Great Bend's got an easier road, not as easy, but easier road than Hayes does to the championship game. I like that Piper matchup.
That'd be a good thing to do, though, if you wanted to mess with people. Well, no,
if you're unable to make Great Bend, I strongly encourage you to go support the Panthers. Great Bend is hosting the 2-1A state baseball tournament next week, too. Thursday and Friday at the Sports Complex. Interesting matchup. 5:45 game. TMP versus Pittsburgh Colgan.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, how would you like TMP? Let's talk about
Well, congratulations. You're the number 1 seed. Guess who you get to play? Well, the 3-time defending
Colgan.
champion and number 8 seed Pittsburgh Colgan.
Colgan, 2-1A. Punch your ticket to the 2-1A tournament. It's the 35th time since 1985 under Coach Mike Watt. Most appearances ever by a coach in Kansas history. Mike Watts has 16 state titles as a St. Mary Colgan head coach. All those titles have happened since 1993. The most time in state, or the most all-time time in state history for Kansas. Colgan has won 20 state titles as a school, also the most in Kansas history. Sports in Kansas. So,
and they're a public school, right?
Both of them.
And dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business needs. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimsinc.com where you can schedule a free, no obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
A smart business career starts with a smart choice at Barton Community College. With small class sizes and real connections with industry pros, the Barton Business Program is ready to help you on your journey. Whether you're wanting to explore the corporate world in fields like accounting and marketing, launch your own business as an entrepreneur, or set a path towards management and leadership, Barton can help. With up to $10,000 in scholarships, success is more affordable than ever. Visit business.bartonccc.edu today.
Ready for a fresh start? This spring, Equity Bank is here to help you bloom into better banking with a $300 bonus. Receive $300 when you open a new Equity Bank checking account and use code FRESH, either in person or online. It's the perfect way to reset your routine and refresh your finances. Visit equitybank.com/fresh for full details and start your season strong. At Equity Bank, they never forget it's your money. Member FDIC.
Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, and for our leadership moment, we want to talk about your people in your operation. And if your people don't want to be there, they won't want to lead there. So do your people want to be there? Do you lead to help people want to be there? Because if your people don't want to be there, they won't want to lead there. Dr. Nels, Animal Medical Center, large or small, we take care of them all.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back to Sports Day here on KVGB. It's brought to you in part by the Animal Medical Center in Great Bend. Large or small, they take care of them all. The Cougar Booster Club continue their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country, and by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Garrett, do you have anything else?
No, I'm going to turn it over to Mark.
Well, no, you need to fill something here because there's something I forgot to do, and I'm going to...
Let's see. So, the other games at Great Bend Sports Complex, May 29th and 30th, we got Valley Falls versus Medicine Lodge. We'll have Roseville High School versus...
Who?
Rossville, I'm sorry.
Okay, never mind.
I should have made this bigger when I printed it.
I got you.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good.
You're good? All right.
No, go ahead. No, don't keep going.
Right.
Keep going.
Let's see. Where was I before I get interrupted? We got Richmond Central Heights versus Douglas. And again, TMP versus Pittsburgh Colgan. That's Thursday at 5:45.
Keep going.
It's going to be a beautiful day out there. We'd love you all to come out.
You're good at filling, right?
Let's see.
He just called you a BS man.
Get tickets. He purchased them out there right at the gate. When you come out to Sports Complex, Great Bend Rec staff will be out there with a smile on their faces.
Friday, Saturday, all 3 days, correct?
Just
Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, just two. We don't have rain, so, but you know what that means. Even though we do have turf, rain can also affect it still.
Can I pay in cash?
Yes, you can.
Really?
Yes, for this high school tournament. As far as I know, I haven't heard anything different anyway. Cover my behind there.
Okay, all right. Very
This Ron
McCracken.
Ron Mason, you're live on Sports Day. Sorry, I forgot. This excellent conversation we're having right now. We've rolled past the top of the hour. You're live on the radio today. How are things over at Marmy's?
We're kicking right now. We're still here. We're still selling, and we're having fun.
Okay, are you selling a car right now? Am I interrupting the close process here?
No, I've already done all that for today, so I'm taking the rest of the day off.
Everybody knows you don't sell a car after 5 o'clock on Fridays. It's time to go home, right?
That is exactly correct.
All right, Ron, there's a golf tournament coming up at Lake Barton Golf Course that you wanted to let everyone know about. What's going on?
Well, tomorrow at 10 a.m. we'll have a shotgun start with a two-man scramble, $50 a man. It was going to be member guest, so we've turned it into member, and open. So everybody's invited. So we've got carts available out there. We've done a lot of maintenance out at the lake. Lake looks beautiful right now. Course is in great shape. And we've got a whole slate of golf tournaments for this coming year. They've already kicked it off with a couple of high school tournaments already out there. So, yeah, this is a good golf tournament. We got, like I said, we got carts available. Tee time is at 10 a.m. Come out to the lake and enjoy it.
And this is a two-man scramble tomorrow.
That is correct. Two-man scramble, and it is ready to go. We just need some people to come out there and let us know that you'd like to come out and play golf with us.
Okay, so you need to know, though, right? So
yeah, I'd like to know. Sure, absolutely. They can call the lake, or they can even call me at 620-282-9560.
Who you playing with?
And tell Mike Marzoff he's invited.
Well, who's your partner?
I've got an older gentleman, and he's quite older. It's Rick Tutak.
Okay.
Man, they should have had you two guys come in here today, too. We could have had everybody down here.
Yeah, we're all a bunch of old geezers. I can tell you that right now.
Geezers gabbing, so that's good. So other tournaments throughout the summer, just people just find out?
Well, just contact the lake. We just go to the Lake Barton Golf Course website, and, I mean, we've got the Catbackers tournament, Claire Barton golf tournament's coming up. Get you a team up, call the Claire Barton, get filled in on that. We've got one-man scrambles coming up again. We've got Hoisington 431 four-man tournament coming up. Of course, the API, the Cougar Booster tournament. I mean, Mike Boy's Memorial tournament. We've got tournaments galore that can suit. Like they say, there's a flight for everybody.
Ron, you play in a lot of golf tournaments and stuff, but have you ever gone to one and finished absolutely last?
Never in my life have I finished last at anything that I do.
Okay, so Marzoff being like, when we lived up in Hayes, we decided, okay, well, I had these old clubs, and I mean, it was really ridiculous, so we even thought about we could do this, but we would go out and play in these different tournaments. Like we play at Kinsley. It was called the Greater Farmland Industry, Greater Kinsley Open.
We went to Iola.
We went to Iola. Yeah, that was but we went to Heston, and we were playing these two guys from Larned. They had a cart, so, they were always, and we got off to a great start. But then it quickly fell apart, and
3 or 4.
I don't remember when it was. But we went into the last, so we teed off the next morning. I swear, Ron, the sun was barely up at Heston.
Dewbusters.
And we were 5 strokes behind this father-son combination from Marquette. And I'm telling you, Ron, the dad was wearing overalls, okay?
I've seen it.
we played so bad. We got done with 18. It was like 10:05 on a Sunday morning. We didn't know what to do. Marzoff wouldn't. We didn't have courage. Marzoff just went up there and had the scorecard and just threw it in the door. So
I didn't open the door until I was toward the table. I mean, it was a direction.
We finished last. I mean, it was a tough tournament. I mean, just those guys from Marquette were pretty good. Just, you usually don't see somebody wearing overalls out on the golf course. But, yeah, so maybe we ought to come out there, Marzoff. We can finish last at Lake Park.
Well, you played in the Hayes Mercer Golf Tournament,
I guarantee you.
More people know us than Lake Park.
Well, that's true. That's what we left out. Ronnie, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much. Like I said, two-man tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Come out, let us know what's going on. I will let you know how we're going to do this and get everything said and done. And appreciate the time today, and let's go Panthers.
Indeed, yeah. Thursday coming up. All right, thanks, Ron.
Bye-bye.
Ron Mason, yeah. Lake Barton with the golf. That was a long
time ago.
I'd tell you what we did at 10:05 on a Sunday morning, but you'd question on how we got back from Heston to Gray. Anyway. All right. I'd like to welcome in, gentlemen. And Chuck, you said you wanted to just see what we did on the show. Is that?
I have listened to your show, Steve, for a long time. Actually, I got introduced to you by my dad back in the 90s when I was living in Hutch, and I would come back to McCracken, and he would always have you and Mike Cooper on in the morning on 1400.
Yeah.
And your banter back and forth would just have him in stitches. And so that has stuck with me for a long, long time. And then when I moved back in this area, you were the voice of the Barton County Cougars, which it took a while being a Hutch JUCO grad to warm up to Barton County a little bit, but I did.
Okay,
and,
all right.
Yeah, so
what do you think now that you've seen the operation? Are you just completely disappointed, or is it?
I am beyond words. This is a dream come true. I'm in shock that I'm actually standing right here speaking with you. So
where's my phone now? You get my phone. I'll get a picture of this. This is going to be good.
This is truly an honor.
You're the first guy that's ever said that.
Yeah,
I don't like it. So when Hesh said you were coming in, he said, yeah, you just want to see what's going on in the show and everything. And then he said, yeah, he went to McCracken. So this is the back. Okay, so when I'm in high school, freshman, sophomore, this is like 73, 74, 70. I mean, I followed small McCracken, man. And it was like the land of the giants.
It was.
You'd see them at the state basketball tournament. They go like 6'7", 6'6", 6'4". And then I wondered, well, okay. And then I was able to go through there. And then I thought, well, McCracken, well, look at that. They still have their football field. There's no grass or anything. They still got the goalpost there. They got the scoreboard up there. And then the gym, I had to go by. That had to be a nice gym back in the day, wasn't it?
It was. We had, I was trying to think of this the other night. I think it wasn't very big, obviously, but I think there were 5 bleacher rows on each side. No seats on the end.
Concrete.
Yep, the wall.
Yeah.
And had the old light on the scoreboard, the last minute, then it would turn red.
Did it have the arms on it?
It did.
Oh, yeah.
It did.
I actually played in games that had those.
Yeah. But in 72, when we had Myron Shookman, who was 6'9", recruited by a lot of colleges back then, and ended up going to Notre Dame. Digger Phelps spoke at our athletic banquet in 1972, which was an unbelievable honor. But Myron...
Did he pay to speak by chance?
I think that was before NIL. But Myron lived on a farm about 5-6 miles northwest of where we lived on a farm. And my brother Jerry was a freshman when Myron was a senior. I was in the 8th grade. Mom worked at the bank in McCracken. Well, she'd take my 2 younger sisters home, and we would practice basketball in junior high, grade school back then, during the day, during PE. So I got to sit and watch practice all the time. Well, a really cool thing, Myron's senior year, Jack Hartman and Bob Fredericks, that was the assistant with Ted Owens back then, got to know that Myron would let Jerry and I off at the driveway right off K4. So the coaches would sit there and wait. And so one day it was getting close to where Myron was going to have to make a decision. Of course, Jerry and I wanted him to go to KU bad. And Jack Hartman handed Myron a letter of intent. And
there was money in it.
Yeah. No, actually, Steve, there wasn't. Because Jack Hartman drove off. Myron took us on down the road a little bit, or down the driveway, and he turned to me and he said, "Do you want this? Because I'm not going there." And Jerry and I were like, "Yes, he's going to KU."
So what kind of vibe did that get? I mean,
oh my gosh,
people in McCracken, you got,
oh my gosh,
KU coaches, K-State coaches. That must have been a big deal.
When I listen to Great Bend High now with Ian Premer and you guys talking about all the college, that takes me back to then. And like I say, those games in 71, 72, when Myron was there, you had to get there really early or you weren't going to get in. But
McCracken was so, you were okay, you mentioned Myron, but he was 6'9", but what was the height of your other line?
Our starting five in the championship game in 1972 against Little River was 6'9", was Myron Schickman. 6'6" was Dan Connor,
who later became a Pratt Beaver.
He did, correct. 6'3" was John Elmore. He was our guard. 6'1" was Lonnie Irvin, high school football coach over at...
And that's how you knew Lonnie?
I knew Lonnie since I was born, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And Dave Rogers was the other 6'1" guy, but we steamrolled through the state tournament for the most part. We beat Lebo by 30 in the first game, beat Bogue, who was in our league then.
Oh, wow.
We beat them by 18, and then we beat Little River 57-49 to win it. But in 71, Myron's junior year, we were undefeated in the state finals against Lewis Spartans and playing at Dodge City at the Civic Center.
Who were some of the guys on Lewis's team?
Lewis had Val McLean.
Okay.
Is who I remember. And I think there was a Gatterman, maybe.
Were the Brighton balls? They were the ones that knocked.
Probably so. Like I say, I was in 7th grade at that time, 8th grade when we won it.
So the Bogue team, that was before Carter and Schweitzer, right?
They were my time.
Okay, yeah, I thought
they were a few years younger than me in 76.
Older Schweitzer, maybe.
Marvin.
Okay.
That would have been him.
Okay.
That went on to K-State, I think on a track scholarship maybe up there.
Track or football maybe.
Maybe both, yeah, but
you, McCracken had these great teams, but you always ran into somebody.
We did.
My idol is Nolan Cromwell.
Yeah. 1973, we beat them in the regular season. And
how dare you beat Nolan?
Yeah, we matched up with them in what is back then was regionals, but now it's sub-state finals.
Yeah, you had to go to regionals, then you had to go, yeah,
district first.
Yeah.
And then regionals. And, Ransom got us. He hit a half-court shot to end the first half that kind of put them on some momentum, and they ended up, we were undefeated. That was Lonnie's senior year in 73, so we were unbeaten then. And then in 74, let me back up a little bit. In 72, we went to the Dodge City Tournament Champions.
Okay.
Out in Dodge.
Yeah. So,
and we lost to Shawnee Mission North the first game, and then we beat Dodge, and then we beat Chapman in an interesting game, Steve. And it was for 4th place. Chapman went on to win 3A state that year, but the Activities Association was experimenting with an 11.5-foot goal. So we played Chapman on an 11.5-foot goal. I don't remember the score, but I don't. I didn't think to look that up in the yearbook, but I don't think there were a lot of points scored, but it was a whole different game that I could remember as an 8th grader. But, so that was interesting there in 72. But 74, we made it back to state, and Little River got us this time. They beat us 51-49 in the semifinals.
Was Cordell playing back in those days?
No, he was, I think Shane Cordell was in the 70 maybe, Steve, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it was Little River McCracken about, if both of us weren't in it, then the other one was in the 70s.
Who's in the league?
We were in the South 56 League back then. Hanston, Bogue. That's a great question, Steve. My junior year, we went to the Lincoln Branch League. So we went with Dorrance, Luray, Lucas, Eastern Heights, which was Agra. Bogue still came over. Tipton had a school on their own back then.
Yep.
Let's get over in Marzoff country.
Well, I was in the Pike Trail League.
Okay.
And those teams kind of sort of merged to make the Twin Lakes League about 30 years ago. It was like in the late 80s. I remember it was my senior year. It was 85.
75, we went to the Lincoln Branch League.
Okay.
Yep, and that's where, until the school closed, that's the league, I believe, that we were in. But in 74 was the first year Fort Hays got the state tournament away from Dodge City. So we played the first year on Groves Memorial Coliseum with our rubber floor.
Yeah, exactly.
And lost in the semis to Liberal, and then we played a Ray Bouchard-led Grinnell Warrior team in third. For third, we ended up beating them by 20.
And I forgot all about that.
But yeah.
Grinnell.
And as I told you a little earlier, if I can kind of break away from the McCracken heartbreaks that we had, but and good time. I mean, they were great. But Ray was at KU, and we'd stayed in touch when he was at Barton County, and then when he went to KU, my brother and I did quite a few volleyball games back when Ray first got hired at KU. So we went east quite a ways to some really big tournaments, and Ray would always be there recruiting. And he called me out of the blue. I think it was Roy Williams' last year, and Zach, my son, was, I believe, in the 5th or 6th grade. And he said, Roy put me in charge of the ball boys. Would Zach be interested in sitting on the bench and sweeping the floor, sweeping the free throw lane? And I told Ray, I said, is there an age limit on that? Zach really doesn't have to know this. I said, could I possibly do that? And he goes, no, I think we better keep it at the younger ones. So we went down, they played Billy Tubbs, the Oklahoma team. And it just so happened the Daily Kansan, I think, is the KU paper. Took a picture, and he's sitting on the bench, so I have it framed now, which was really cool.
So that's just one game.
That was one game.
Okay.
Correct. Yep.
You got a season deal. Okay.
Right.
I'll bring you every time.
I think his kids were pretty involved with that, and then their friends, too. So that was really awesome of Ray to do that.
out here for a year, and then we went to KU.
That's correct.
Yep.
Yeah, Brandon, was that? Yep.
Chuck Higgins in with us today on Sports Day, and you, like me, you remember those nights where you could just drive through on Friday nights and there would be lights wherever you'd go, but that's not the case anymore with the way the schools are going right now. So
one of the things, Steve, when we went to state, literally, there's 2 entries into McCracken on K4 from the south and from the north. There were signs posted. Town is closed. Team is at state.
Straight out of Hoover, baby.
And we were, yeah. and what a following. But in 75, my Jerry senior year, undefeated, sub-state finals, Fowler Gold Bugs got us. 76, my senior year, we had lost 2 games earlier that year. And sub-state finals, Fowler beat us. 78 was an undefeated team.
I think Dave Harris played for Fowler back in those days. He ended up playing football at KU.
Okay.
So
They had some pretty good, they had a couple pretty good sized guys back then, yeah. 77, though, we were undefeated. Sub-state semis against Claflin at Claflin, they got us. And then 78, at your school, at Skyline, we were undefeated, and Moscow Wildcats beat us in the finals there. And then my sister in 82 was a volleyball team at McCracken, went to Skyline for the state volleyball tournament, and Grinnell got them. So
I never won any big games in that gym either.
Yeah, so Panther fans, I was listening to Randy Gehring, them getting over that hump, 50 plus years later, you look back on this like I do, and great memories, even during those heartaches, but
If Chuck comes back in, there's only one thing missing from this whole conversation. He needs to be passing out Werther Originals candies to all of us, because I feel like I'm just sitting on the floor. Tell us more, Chuck. Tell us more. I'm loving this.
He has actually validified, that's a big word, some of Steve's stories before, man. I'm telling you. We talked about the McCracken team.
McCracken was pretty good in football, too.
We were fair. Yeah, we were 8-man. I didn't play my first 2 years in high school.
Well, you played for a basketball dynasty.
Yeah, true. We had really good baseball teams. We went, Jerry's senior year, we went to state tournament. My senior year, the next year we went to state, and then I think they went maybe a year or two after that, and then I don't know if anybody in the room here, K-18 baseball.
Oh, God, it was.
We won that up in Lucas, Kansas. We played there 9 times in 1974, my last year.
Florida American Legion. It was actually his boy team from the K-18. Lucas had a sweet field, man.
Oh, yeah. They had a press box and bleachers.
Did you ever play lacrosse?
We did in the summer, yeah. We did. We did not play them. No. Our high school baseball, Steve's schedule was Dodge City. Great Bend, Liberal.
Not too many ways playing baseball.
No, Dodge City had a tournament, and we would go there, Great Bend, all the big schools. We'd go down there, and we would hold our own. And Victoria was really good, though.
Okay, I've got
Victoria, we had to beat them to go to state tournament, and we beat them 1-0 my junior year on a great game. I think it went maybe 8 innings. It was kind of a walk-off deal like Great Bend had the other night. So
okay, so important question, because next time I go through McCracken, then where was the baseball field at?
The baseball field is now the rodeo grounds.
Okay, all right, McCracken Rodeo,
and that is on the north end of town.
Okay,
a little bit toward the east side, but no lights. 3 barbed wire fence in left field, a grain elevator in center, a grain bin, and a house in right field. So if you could get a hold of one in center or right, you could run around twice. But we would go back in K-18, we would go to Bison, Steve. They had the only field back then with lights. So our league tournament in K-18 was held in Bison, and that was
the baseball field in Bison then?
That would be when you go down Main Street and off to the east. I don't know if they still had. It's been a few years. I took one sentimental drive back through there when I was living in Hutch, and I still found it. I can't remember now if they have their lights still or not, but you would have thought back then we were all playing in Royal Stadium because we were playing under the lights.
That's Mark Goodhart's house.
But
that's what I was going to say. It's the reason why we go there now, so we can egg Mark Goodhart. Just kidding.
But no, we won the K-18 state tournament in 1974 and then again in 1977, so...
I
never won anything postseason. Okay, so you said Dan Connor, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
And his dad, Coach Connor, Coach Glenn Connor, in the Hall of Fame, for Kansas Hall of Fame. Great coach. Great, yeah, Dan played at Pratt JUCO for a couple years.
I don't know if this is right or not, but it was like he missed a game one time because he had to go home to help fight that big fire in McCracken. Wasn't there a big
We've had a lot of fires in McCracken, Steve. We took businesses out.
Yeah, this would have been like the 70s. I mean,
Yeah.
that was a big one that took down that store. Ben, that's hard to balance.
So he drove from Pratt to McCracken knowing he could still help put the fire out?
Well, he's probably a volunteer fireman. I don't think
Well, if I remember correctly, our volunteer fire department said they never, ever, ever lost a foundation.
Well, something to hang your hat on.
Unfortunately, no, we lost a lot of buildings, but the paper moon was tossed around a little bit.
But you used to be called like the walruses or something.
We were. I was just informed this by my sister Tammy a couple nights ago when Hesh dropped the bomb on me that I was just planning on sitting in here, and then he's like, "No, Steve wants to talk." So
yeah, he mentioned McCracken. I was out.
That's what he told me. So we used to be back in the 50s, I guess, the Blue Birds, not the Blue Jays, but the Blue Birds, and then at some point in the 60s, we transitioned to the Mustangs. So I don't.
Did you make an Audubon Society mad or something?
I don't know. It could have been. Yeah.
Gossel's the Bluebirds, right? I think Gossel's the Bluebirds now. That's crazy. I never heard. I never heard the term before. Now he's saying it again.
I think there's a Blue Jays.
Blue Jays, I think, is Gossel, but I'm not sure.
Oh God, here we go again. No, I'm not going to. No, it's okay.
So what year did McCracken High School close?
86, I believe.
Really?
I think. My sister graduated, youngest sister, in 84, and I think it was 2 years after that.
And then combined right away with Ransom.
Some went to Ransom, some went to Ellis, some went to Mazine, some went to LaCrosse. And now the majority of them go. What few kids we unfortunately have go to LaCrosse.
When did it become a consolidation? That was later, wasn't it?
When we consolidated,
we became Western Plains.
Oh, Ransom, that would be with Mazine.
Oh, okay. So why, when I go to the Western Plains golf tournament, do we play it in McCracken?
They don't have a golf course, no.
I thought it was part of the district.
No.
I just learned something today.
No. Ransom was on their own.
Okay.
Now, we battled them in basketball. They were 11-man football, so we didn't play them in football, but Legion team in the summer, then all of McCracken would go to Ransom and play, and Brownell was the post number for our Legion team, and we played in Ransom, and that was really cool up there because they had in-ground dugouts.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yes.
Is that baseball field? Well, that's over there by the school.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yep.
I drove through Ransom.
Yep. It's over.
Cromwell's running.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Did Brownell have a high school?
I'm sorry?
Did Brownell have a high
school?
school?
Back in the 50s, they would have, yes.
What?
I don't. I thought of that, Mike, and I just wasn't home to...
Did you play Utica?
We did. The Utica Dragons. They were good. You know, Dave Burrell...
Did you play Healy?
We did. They were in our league. So you're bringing back those schools that were in our... South 56 was the league. Utica, Healy...
Healy was the Blue Jays?
Healy Eagles.
I thought they were the Healy Comets.
That was a bird.
That's why they were in a fantasy football league. There was,
Bazine was in. Hanston. Bazine, that was a really good basketball league. Utica had Dave Burrell, Kirk Foster. Back in 71, I think they were a year older than Myron.
We actually, before you came on, refereed a high school football game in Healy, way back in the day.
You were doing the big games then, weren't you?
But we would go over to the Bazine. Have you ever been in their basketball gym?
No, it's
tiny, and they would have pillars on the court.
That was a good pick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So before we would play them, Coach Carter would have us go over to our grade school that is no bigger than a matchbox, and that's where we would practice.
No, that high school, the gym is right there.
Now it's a brand new one. I mean, they put up a new one.
They tore the old one down?
I think it's still there, Steve.
Yeah, it's close to the highway, right? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you could, especially with 6'9" guys, you put a press on there, they would kill people, man.
Yep.
That ain't even fair.
If I'm...
What's his story? Okay, you know, so why at Bazine High School is there a sidewalk that leads to the school? It's like a mile long.
I don't know that answer.
Okay, all right.
But I do know what you're talking about. It is the absolute longest walk.
It's the longest sidewalk to go.
Without a doubt. It is. It's an Indian. That's correct. Yep.
The custodians have wondered that too many times when they're scooping it. Why is this here?
Yeah. Why is this thing out there?
You pick. Yeah.
Bazine's a nice town too.
It's a great little town. They have a Bazine after harvest picnic in August, and my son and his friends from Hoisington, we get a co-ed softball team together, and it's a 2-day fun time over there. Yeah, it's just a nice little town.
Yeah, man, from growing up in a little small town, the Cunningham, where we used to go fishing with Dad, and then Dad discovered golf, and then he'd just leave in the summertime and go to Pratt, and then Mom worked in Pratt, and then so my sister babysat, so that means I did whatever I wanted, just going down to the river, and it was just. And we didn't have 70 baseball games. We'd have one game a week. You know, it was just a summer of just being a kid, man. It was it was awesome.
It was. And, you know, Steve, like I said at the very beginning, this is just so awesome. And I want to thank Hesh for putting this together, because I reached out to him a couple years ago. There was a co-ed softball game in Hoisington that Zach plays on, and Hesh was out walking in the park, and I was sitting out in right field, and got to talking to him, and I said, Hesh, I would just, Steve Webster,
Wow, that's...
Yeah, and I said, I just really, and he goes, well, come over. Well, didn't do it, and I got a hold of him the other day, and he put this together for me, so thank you, Hesh. I appreciate that. And Steve, I tell you, you got, as Gerard Welbrock said yesterday, you're one of the truly best that have ever done this. And from somebody that loves listening to basketball games, grew up as a kid in McCracken hearing Bob Davis call Steve Crosby football games, J.D. Armstrong football games, Barton Snow basketball games, and then going to KU and hearing him say swish, and Steve Webster going bang. It's just great.
Chuck, you're so kind, man.
Well, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And one last thing, Kelly Irvin, a really, really good friend of mine. We've talked for a number of years. He used to work in Barton County. He's retired now, and he would always listen to your sports show at 12:30. And he said, Chuck, I would just love to sit down and talk sports, mainly high school sports, with Steve Webster. Well, Kelly, I know you're listening today. I finally got that on. So maybe I can make that happen with you and I with him.
Kelly,
Steve.
we will meet you at the 40-yard line of the football field in McCracken, and I'm sure you've got immunity from law officers and things like that. They'll just let us sit out there with a couple.
They probably would. Yeah, they probably would. Yeah.
This is a whole new idea, right? Why can't we go? I'd love to talk Lewis Spartan. I have somebody from Lewis come in. I mean,
podcasting.
We had the Pawnee Rock talk with Ed Crosby, I think. Yeah,
they were in our league, Steve, in 60.
Pawnee Rock. I used to hear that name. I was scared of them.
Oh my gosh, they were so good.
Yeah.
And in 69, I believe it was, which I would have been 4th or 5th grade, our football team was undefeated, and we only played 5 games, maybe 6 a year. Pawnee Rock was undefeated, so the whole town loads up. We go to Pawnee Rock, Steve Crosby, Tutak probably on that team, Unruh, Wade Russell, and we come home, and if I remember right, try not to remember that, 50-0, they handed it to us. So they were so good.
Well, I just hear that name. I mean, it was like when Dad was coaching at Maxville, man. So, well, we're going to have a game at Pawnee Rock, and I'd like to want to go, but man, Pawnee Rock, man, that sounds mean. Yeah. So I'm not going to that one.
Yeah. They were good.
And then I talked at Claire Shaver's graduation party last Saturday.
Yes.
I talked to the teacher at Larned, the substitute. from Radium. He was a Radium resident.
I remember that talk.
It was just like awesome.
Kelly just sent me a text that he could be at the 40-yard line at 7 o'clock this evening.
Hey, sweetheart. Mike and Dee Dee have a referee meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
Lads, thanks for coming in. This is like, welcome.
Been great.
That's going to wrap up today's edition of a bunch of old geezers gathered here. Except Landon, he's a young fella, and Brant is too, but...
We're only 25 minutes long, 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no bad.
Well, Brant needs to know how to fix a log after he goes long on a show.
But no, Webby really, truthfully, like he said, you are an idol, man. You're a Hall of Famer.
Oh, stop.
I know. I'm just trying to butter you up. Maybe you'll keep coming back and doing the show or something. But from the days of Fort Hays, from the days of Fort Hays when you were there, when I was there, seeing you around announcing, and it's been good. Heck of a ride, buddy.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
I wanted to just, I couldn't come by next week, so I wanted to be just one more time.
And Garrett says that because he was at the rec game where I got kicked out of the league because little Wendy wouldn't leave our team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was
Two tax names come up.
We got really good after that.
I got a good joke.
You got 20 seconds.
Okay. Did you know that they shortened his name? He used to be 3-tack.
The one and only Gary Wagner. Oh, what a show today. Thanks for joining us. Sports Day on KVGB.